Hello, gentle viewers. This is App Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Charlotte Silverwolves. The Silverwolves that couldn't win a single fucking postseason game last year, which is very yikes. Um Daenerys Emmanuel Classe is still pitching. What a guy. What a guy. Um on the one hand, 106 wins is really good. On the other hand, let's get some new coaches, and then we shall proceed thusly. I like promoting from within. I would like somebody that is easygoing. I have one easygoing person as our pitching coach. That is not acceptable. Um, and definitely not controlling, which is like Antoine Anderson is a legitimate choice here. You like easygoing people. Yes, I will promote you, Antoine. Welcome to Los Big Leagues. Nick Cadena is going to get promoted. Bobby Seale will not consider it a promotion, so I cannot promote him, sadly. He's an excellent coach, but I can promote George Shalik. Alright, I need the hittingest hitting coach that ever hitting coached. Gustavo Figueroa. Welcome. Hopefully. And then let's go ahead and get Miguel Rico. No, Jose Gomez is an excellent choice. And then we need a manager, somebody who is outstanding in the area of development. Wait, O'Neal Cruz, the guy used to play for the Pirates? Wild. Yeah, let's do it. No, no, no. You know you're not getting that job, my friend. You gotta work your way up. There you go. Okay, coaching sorted, kind of. We need new players. We need high quality players to continue our reign of terror atop the leaderboards. Dusty Hackett, I feel, has at least earned an opportunity to seize the starting second base role. I'm not saying I'm going to hand it to him, but I'm saying he's earned the right at least. We have Velasco, who is acceptable. I'd love to get a high quality second base choice. I just don't know that I have one. I guess there's also Denny LaCourcier who could play second base for us. That could be good. Because you will, of course, recall that Chris Thomason departed the team last year. Um, let's get to talking about arbitration now. After, of course, we do player development. The development lab, one of the labs of all time. Mr. Gowana, please work on your ability to hit baseballs, but I will sell your ability to draw walks for now. I am in utter awe about how this man just will not improve. Like, I know he's cranky because he wants to play for a better team, but he should just try pitching better. He seems like he keeps getting jerked around quite a bit, so hopefully he settles down a little bit. Let's have you work on your control. Being able to throw strikes in the low minors is really valuable, and it gives you a leg up over a lot of the higher ranked peoples. Juan Luera needs to improve his plate discipline. Jonathan Knippers is not a third baseman under even the most charitable understanding of the word third baseman. But he's really smart and really talented, so I'm more than eager to let him develop his wait for it plate discipline. Joe Dahlberg desperately needs his control improved, as does Mike Greenleaf. But before I do that, let me take a look at our Major League roster. Sergio Carrillo, if you would be so kind as to work on your secondary pitches, that would be much appreciated. Okay. Arbitration time. These are all pretty reasonable numbers except for Nate Quinn, which I will talk about here momentarily. First things first, Rob Howard wants a pretty minor raise. I'm willing to give that to him. I'm not going to overthink that one. That's pretty reasonable. Chris Perry is wanting a pretty substantial raise, but I'm comfortable with that. I'm willing to give him the raise he requests. Because he's a really solid pitcher. He's not filling the role that I thought he would. Jake Ramos has most definitely earned himself a raise. No question. Has Ethan Varner earned a raise? Ethan Varner so far has had loads of potential, but hasn't really capitalized on it yet. He's only 25. I think $3 million to figure out if he can figure it out is a reasonable sum. I'm not going to guarantee the rotation, but I will guarantee you the money you're asking for. Joe Weisstexel was the definition of replacement level last year. I feel like there might be more to him. And it is a fairly minor raise, so I think it's worthwhile keeping him around. This one is more likely than some of the others to be a bit of an issue, but we will persevere. Wow, fucker, you really want your damn money. Well, guess what? You can have $3 million and not a penny more. You know what? Fuck you, dude. I don't know why you're being such a hard ass about this. I'm gonna trade you now. Like, you have no reason to be a hard ass about... This is literally like... you're gone. I know this is probably not smart, but he pissed me off, so he can go to hell. I don't want any veterans, but it will take prospects and regulars of a suitable quality. Dave Ormerod is a defense-only infielder. I feel like I have plenty of those. Martin Vatos is a no-defense guy. Just gotta split the difference here. Josh Cook is... I like the leadership a lot, but he's not a very good second baseman. He's a first baseman, and I have enough of those that I don't want to trade for somebody who can't play the position. Bobby Fultz is interesting enough that I'm going to give him an opportunity. He's got such a weird skill set because he can't really turn double plays, which makes him a poor fit as a second baseman. But it's at least more interesting than some of the other choices that I've had. Fultz is currently the leading guy that I'd be willing to acquire. Sean Tobin is defense and very minor offense. I'd like both, please. Especially in an era where you can't use the shift. Defensive range for a second baseman is crucial. And I'm not really willing to try it out here. You're borderline. You're a good defend. You're a decent all-around player, but maybe we can do a little bit better. Any greens? Okay, no greens. Okay. There is one green, which is E.L. Miller here. But he can't play second base, so no thank you. Prince Trotman can play second base. He's actually almost perfect. I'm not terribly enamored with his low batting eye, but I'm more than happy to acquire him and see if he can figure it out. So let's do it. The fans like them some Prince Trotman, so do I. Let's get him a new contract. Because, I mean, Edgar Velasco's already reached his pinnacle with us, which is useful utility guy. That's not nothing, but it's not enough to be, a starting second baseman in this league. I just need more than that. Mr. Trotman, welcome. He wants a long-term deal already. But why? I mean, you've had a pretty good career with the Phillies so far. Like, you haven't been a bad player, but you're being held back by your lack of plate discipline. And so I'm hesitant to give you a big time contract. What if I just gave you a 1 year deal and let you prove it, rather than give you this giant? This is a lie here. He's not making the minimum. Like, I'm not even saying this is an unreasonable contract. I'm saying right now this is an unreasonable contract. There you go. All right. I would like Kevin Bulkley to sign a longer term deal if we can manage it. What does your 6 year deal look like? You want quite a bit of money. And while I think you might be worth it, I don't want to invest that heavily in you yet. So I think a 1 year deal is perfectly acceptable for both you and I, and see what you can manage with your new year. Juan Moreno, I have no objections to Juan Moreno existing, but I'm not convinced he's a good fit for this club. That said, he's only wanting a fairly minor sum to stick around. And he did play pretty well in limited playing time, so I think it's reasonable to give him. No, you get a 1 year deal and you'll be happy for it. Nothing you've done. Wow, fuck you then. You're being traded. I don't know why all of a sudden you're like outraged that I didn't give you a giant super contract when you have done fuck all. But enjoy your new team, man. What a jackass. Just like, I'm pissed off at you. Well, fuck off. Um, I mean, a skee-ball player is at least as good as you are, and won't cost me very much more. So you know what? Welcome aboard, sir. Don't like it? Don't be a whiny bitch next time. Um, Chris Fowler, if he could ever stay fucking healthy, would be a pretty outstanding center fielder. The problem is I have Mike Bush, and Mike Bush is at least as good a center fielder as Mike Fowler. Potentially. Or Chris Fowler. But I feel like a really good. He's even not that good center fielder, though, is the thing. What if I trade him? So I'm going to go ahead and re-sign Colt Long. Just because that's such a small price that I'm happy to keep him around for that much. But what if I traded Fowler? And here's my thinking. I know Mike Bush isn't perfect, and I know that Chris Fowler has been decent. But purely in terms of who the better player is right now, it seems to me that it's Mike Bush. Certainly, Mike Bush in a couple of years is going to be better than Chris Fowler. Is he there yet? No, not yet. But there's every possibility that he will be. Speed is about the same with Bush having slightly better wheels, but this is where I think the big difference comes in. Yes, Bush is slightly more error prone, but his range is about the same. He's got a hell of a lot better arm, and oh, by the way, he's also just a better center fielder. I think Mike Bush is the better choice. To that end, I'm going to go ahead and flip Chris Fowler for a reasonable deal. And again, prospects are what I want more than anything, but I would take a talented regular at the right position. Pat Addison. Tempting, but I don't think so. Oh, because you also want all of the money. Okay. I don't think so, asshole. Try to fucking trick me. I just looked at David Castillo the first time, and I'm like, what if I check this time? You're at least an up-and-coming defensive catcher. The thing is, already got Alejandro Rivera, and Harry Ford is going to be disappearing sooner rather than later, so I don't think a catcher is what I'm looking for. No matter how highly rated you are. Eel Miller is decent, but I don't feel like paying that much money for a guy that I'm not even convinced will be a starter on my team. That just strikes me as irresponsible, to say the least. Different strokes for Billy Stokes. Um, Steve Archibald's not bad, but not as like the main return. What if I ask for a prospect package? As long as I get 1 to 2 yellows, I will be happy to take the deal. Danny Miller is a fairly limited player. You don't like any of these deals, do you? I mean, that's fair. Do I just look at a prospect? That's all I care about. It's just prospects at this point. I already looked at you. Um, if I can get Salemi and Ormerod, I would consider that a reasonable trade. Can I get both of them? Hell, can I get their really good prospects? Probably not. Okay, Sean Lesko is actually a really good pitcher. I am more than happy to make this happen. But let's see if I can't snag one more player. Can I get Jared Salami? No. You know what? This flat out gives us a really good pitcher. Done. I'm not going to overthink this one. That's the right decision. Oh, you both need to be added to the roster, don't you? Okay. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Nate Quinn. A healthy Nate Quinn is fantastic. A top tier player worthy of the money he's asking for. The question is, can we count on him being healthy? If we're going to keep him at all, I want to keep him for the long term. I don't want to keep fucking around with this every year. What does a 5-year deal look like for you? I wonder if this would grab his interest. Basically, he's guaranteed this money. I wonder if this would be interesting to him. It is. I feel like I'm overpaying, but if he is anywhere near the level that he should be, we're actually getting a bargain. I am comfortable with this deal. I saw somebody Reddit posting these ridiculous prices that closers were asking for. A player of this magnitude asking for that much money is quite reasonable, provided we can keep him healthy. So we'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. It's already a very busy off season. We just started it. What else do we want? What else would make us happy? It's a good question. I mean, I don't really need Colton Hartman back. I think he did an okay job, but there's plenty of players like him in the free agent market that I could easily grab. I think we've already upgraded significantly at second base with just the raw talent we have at the moment. Dusty Hackett is also a fair person to upgrade things. Um, First base, it's got to go to Romero. We have to let Romero get proper playing time to actually see if we've already fucked ourselves with his modest contract. I don't think we have. But he has to get genuine playing time come spring training. For sure. Well, there's also Josh Walensky who could play second base for us. You know, I forgot about him. He's definitely going to get an opportunity. I have a lot of infielders on this roster. We'll have to sort them out. Okay. Coolio. You know what? I wouldn't mind trading Harry Ford and picking up a veteran catcher just to save us some cash. Like, he did fine last year, but I think Alejandro Rivera is champing at the bit to show what he can do in a full season. Um, let's simulate one day and see if we can get somebody to give us an offer for Harry Ford. The answer is probably no. Um, but that's fine. It costs you nothing to ask, right? And I might have everything to gain. But I could just pick up Lupe Soto, who'd instantly become a high quality backup catcher. Um, Cunningham's not that interesting. Meh. Meh. I'm gonna trade him for Soto. I think that's the right call. It saves us a bunch of money. And more importantly, the new guy isn't appreciably worse than that. We also have Tarashi Suzuki, who is a perfectly fine catcher and is also a captain. So let's do it. Never even heard of Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, let alone whether it's actually an area where a lot of people are poor. I will sweeten it. Dumb. Nice. I'm not making you a major league bench coach. Oh my fucking Christ. Don't be stupid. There. The sheer audacity of these players, of these coaches sometimes, I tell you what. You're probably getting actual major league offers. That's probably where we're at right now. If I offered you 150 grand, would you take it? But I think you are pretty easily impressed, but sure. Fans are happy. Nate Quinn gets his big deal. This one could bite us, but honestly, 14 million is extremely cheap for a pitcher of his raw talent level. And we have plenty of protection to get out of this contract should it bite us in the butt. Are there big contracts you need to keep an eye out for? Not really. We don't really have at the moment truly exceptional young players that really deserve a big time contract yet. The closest example of that might actually be Bulkley here. If Bulkley has another great season, I'll probably give him the contract he's wanting. I just need to see a little bit more from him before I'm willing to commit to him to that level. I guess the fans like Varner. I didn't expect that. Is O'Neill Cruz still thinking about it? Oh, you just got a new team. Yeah, you got an actual role with the majors. I had a feeling that's what was happening there. Go off, fam, but I don't think you're going to do that well. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm gonna try Ben Fritz here. See how that works out for us. Fine. I always choose to start a charity. I probably shouldn't, but here we are. A gold glove for Rob Howard. Well done, Rob. Nate Quinn had better win reliever of the year. Like, it should not even be in dispute. Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked. He won't, but I wouldn't be surprised if he actually gets some Cy Young consideration. That's how good his season was. Another year, another narrow loss for Sergio Zapata in the Triple Crown stat. Again, I think Escalante is going to win MVPs as long as he performs the level that he does. I don't think there's much I can do to argue with that. Ben Johnson, what if I gave you an extension? Silver Sluggers, obviously Zapata, obviously. Bulkley got one too. Nice. Very cool. Good old Bo Gruters. How the fuck did that get Silver Slugger? Oh, because that's pitchers. Okay. That's pitchers. Did I know? Oh, I'm not the manager of the year. That would be my. How did Ernie Jarvis not win Cy Young? He finished in third to this fucko? I mean, yes, he was the best pitcher in the major leagues, but come on, man. Cut Ernie some slack here, dude. Man, fine. He did not get any consideration, by the way. Nobody voted for Nate Quinn, which I guess I'm not really that surprised by. Fucking Escalante. As long as he's in the American League, I'm going to constantly be fighting with him. Just because his ridiculous batting average is. He's so young, too. Damn. I mean, I can't be too upset, right? Like, Sergio Zapata has, what, like 4 MVPs? 3? And the years he didn't win, he's finished in second. Like, this is a man with literally 7 top 2 finishes and the MVP voting. I feel pretty good about how amazing a player he is. He's already got almost 60 wins above replacement. He's not even 28 yet in baseball terms. That's just crazy, guys. It's almost unfair. He's going to like 50 million a year when he becomes a free agent next, and I'm gonna have to give it to him. Ah. Take beverage your choice is Gatorade. Okay, let's take a quick gander at our budget. We have about 20 some million dollars to spend. Um, I'm a multi-time World Series winner. Yeah, fuck you. Fans, I love you. I think $30 is unreasonable. Alright. Let's take a look and see who is available at all positions here. Oh, you can clear that filter. I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. Alejandro Aguilera would be a pretty nice low-cost pitcher, and just see what he might be able to accomplish. So I think this is a worthy expenditure. You're not getting in the rotation though. Fuck you if you think you're still a starter. I'm not gonna do that. This is a really uninspired free agent class. Like, there's some really nice top end talent here, but not very much. Masuda is pretty damn good. And while I do have Ernie Jarvis, I don't have a lot of other top end pitching talent. He could really change the way our team progresses. Plus, he's super young. He's only 27, which means we're going to be getting the best of him. Let's make this a 6-year deal, and let's do a team option in there. I mean, maybe you opt out, that's fine. But I think this is the year to push in our chips a little bit and try to pick up another premium starting pitcher. Like 27-year-old starting pitchers with that level of talent just don't hit free agency. They just don't. So I am more than eager to give him that opportunity to see what he can accomplish. Yeah. Give me Colin Houck, but I'm not going to give you Carrillo. That would be stupid. And I am not that dumb. I'm perfectly content with my existing players to figure out who should be playing first base in spring training. You're going to eat most of his salary. But Anthony Volpe is a terrible player at this point. Like, I don't have any interest in him. Sorry, bro. All right. Any big time dudes here? I'll go for Aaron Nola. Of course I will. It's never in doubt. Oh, Trey Turner. Corey Seager. Adley Rutschman. Jose Ramirez. Austin Riley, I guess. Manny Machado. Frankie Lindor. Pablo Lopez. There's just like a ton of players that are just kind of mid. I will go for Rafael Devers. I don't know who, if anybody, actually makes it this year. Truly couldn't tell you. Maybe Lindor, maybe Machado, maybe Devers, maybe Gallen. It's hard to say. Nice. There's a lot riding on him, but I think he has every capacity to be the guy we're looking for. If I had a criticism about him, he's not the hardest thrower, but he's got a nice mix of pitches and he puts the ball where it needs to go. I think he'll be a great fit for us. I'm not saying I hope that Escalante gets hurt, but I'm saying that's probably the only way that we ever get an MVP again. It is what it is. Let's go Rule 5 draft. I feel like the best course of action is to let things just play out in spring training and figure out who the most worthy second baseman is. Oh, Amari, holy shit. Really? This guy's worth 20 million a year. I feel infinitely better about signing my dude, my Japanese dude. He's a good pitcher, but man, has he not actually proved it. Like, he is fine. He is acceptable. And I just, yeah. Oh, right. Rule 5 draft time. I don't really care about most of these guys. If they get picked, they get picked. But let's see who I could acquire in the Rule 5 draft. Oh no, not Jaheim Curry. Not that person who I definitely remember. I like Alejandro Coronado a lot. I think he could be a nice addition to our pitching staff. Let's do it. Always useful to take a reliever in the Rule 5. Not Tim Torre and Josh Mapes. Man, I'm joking. I could not care less about either one of them. I wish them well in their future endeavors. Um, Mike Burchfield is such a project type player. I don't think it makes much sense to me to take that risk. Sergio Morales is fine. He's just not good. He's not bad either, but it's just like he's whatever. Eh. Do you have any decent center field choices here? I wouldn't mind getting a little bit deeper at center field. A guy like Sergio Becerra is definitely on my radar. I could bring back former Silver Wolf Curiel. Oh, maybe he's not a former Silver Wolf. Oh, there we go. Like, I just want a center fielder who can handle center field well enough that I don't have to worry about having a decent option there. Let's go ahead and take Curiel. And then does anyone have like buckets of power? Like presently has buckets of power. Navy Rosario. Ben Cryer has a ton of power. He's just not a very good catcher. Oh, Navy, my lad. Man, I still weirdly believe in him, but I have no reason to believe in him. This man that has accomplished nothing with his prodigious gifts. But it just would be funny if he did someday. Yeah, I think I'm done. I could see taking Ben Cryer and try to turn him into a first baseman. I think that would actually be pretty reasonable. Um, because he's got really good pop. Some of the best on the club. If we could teach him first base, it could be pretty beneficial. I feel pretty good about our off season. Um, Player who's designated for assignment. Who is that? Oh, literally, they're both back already. That's so funny. Wow. That's like record time. Like, wait a minute, we drafted them by mistake. I apologize. Like, no, no. Go off, fam. How much money did you get from the Mariners? You literally got, like, you just got what you wanted, which is a guaranteed starting role. Um, that is a wet fart type of trade, and it signifies nothing, and it's kind of gross. You really want Jeremy Cooper? Eh, Keldrick Loy is not terrible. He's just not good. I don't think so. I just don't think Loy is worth it. I know he's a good defender, and that's always worth something, but this is a man who's had multiple chances to try to hit in the major leagues, and he can't do it. He just doesn't make enough contact. So I must regretfully reject your trade, Cubs, but invite you to try again. Good old Henry Bolt for 3 million a season. He's had himself an okay career. I'm actually pretty proud of him. I certainly never would have seen him regularly hitting like more than 20 home runs a year. Los Celtics has been hurt a lot, so this is a pretty nifty little career though. I'm proud of him. Even if he didn't show much with us, I'm still proud of what he was able to achieve in the major leagues. So good on you, friend. Yeah. This is just a really tricky class because a lot of players are roughly the same talent level, and none of them have done much to break through. Um, Short of like a true legend retiring sometime soon. Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's up to $4.7 million. I mean, Andres Bonilla would be a perfect choice. He is a very, very good pitcher. If you like my organization, I like you. Now, if you like money more than my organization, I can't help you. But trade proposal. I really don't want this guy. Like, stop bothering me. I'm just not that into him. Latest contract negotiation. He wants additional money. I cannot compete with that. So clearly you don't like my organization that much because you're holding out for more money. Which I get it, but I would love to get Lazaro Montoya. But I have a feeling he's already been offered. Damn it. I have a feeling that he's already been offered max money. Well, we got Montoya, who's a pretty good second place type guy. Julio Contreras improving his power is only going to make him more viable as a candidate down the line. Did you get the max contract? Is that why I failed? Yeah, you did. I can't compete with that, so it's whatever. Um, it's gonna be a big spring training year, I think. Wow, now Chris Thomason rejects the fucking guru. How much is Chris Thomason making? 15 million. Okay. Spring training invites. I'm gonna start handing some of these out. Let's go, definitely. You know what, Mitchy boy? Sure. Choate, Gavaret, Ormerod. Nobody else is really developed enough to be given an opportunity. Um, at least not that I can see. We will let Cryer and Thompson and Toure and Curry. You can all have your moment in the sun. Lupe Soto. Okay. Now do your thing. Why do you refuse to play a first baseman at first base? Walensky's not that special. I need to see if Romero can get any better. So you know what? Fuck you. Play Romero. There. You got worse. Thanks, fucker. A couple of people got better though. That's good. I can't send anyone else to development lab, can I? I would dearly love to teach Ben Cryer a new position. Yeah, there we go. That's really the only thing I want to do. I want to see if I can teach him a new position where his superior power might actually be able to stick out. Damn. He's gonna miss most of the season. That's gonna cost him a lot of money, potentially. Josh Thompson is getting better. Ethan Varner is getting a little bit worse. Casey Choate is getting a lot better. He still hasn't turned it into actual production yet, but he is definitely in the right progression. Rivera's better, Soto's better, Cryer's a little bit worse. Dave Ormerod is better. Ernesto Rosales is about the same. Gunnar Henderson is starting to decline, which isn't too shocking given his age. Okay. And let's go ahead and sum up to opening day, see if there's any other injuries that pop up, and then we'll start making our final decisions here. There we go. I mean, I don't know how he's only out for 2 weeks with a herniated disc. That's impressive as fuck, but he wasn't going to make the team anyway, probably, so I don't really care. Just today is Wednesday that I'm recording it. Labor Day being on Monday kind of messed with my head a little bit, as I'm sure it did many who work in the United States. Oh, Prince Trump being injured. Oh, he's got a dead arm. He'll be back for opening day. Alright. I have 51 players. Let's drop 7 pitchers. I want Casey Choate to succeed in the high minors before he gets any kind of real taste at the major league level. I think that's just responsible. Mike Taylor can go to the minor leagues. I think Sean Lesko is already one of our better pitchers, so I think he will most happily be given a shot in the majors here. Helton to the minors. I have a lot of very, very samey pitchers. Jake Ramos has been handy, but I don't know that he's necessarily worthy of making this roster at this time. Archuleta needs to go to the minors where he can maybe work on his pitches to become truly effective. What am I at now? 15. 2 more pitchers gotta go. Maybe 3, but definitely 2. I think Josh Thompson makes the roster. Faber was not impressive last year. And Aguirre can't even crack the majors. I'm just going to trade Aguirre for a prospect and see if anybody wants him. I just don't see that there's anything terribly interesting here to write home about. Like, Jared Russell at least has really good stamina. He could actually even be a starter in the right circumstances. So I think he would be a fine choice. Okay. I still got way too many position players. Oh, you're also counting Dusty Hackett as a position player, as a pitcher, which is fine. Because I think Hackett's going to make the roster. All right, 4 catchers is an excessive number of catchers. Cryer's going to go to the minors, and the question is, do we keep Soto or Suzuki? I think Soto's got loads of potential, but so does Suzuki, and Suzuki's got that extra leadership role, so I think Suzuki gets to stay. Nelson Castillo is going to be given every chance to potentially play an important role on this club. So Ormerod's going to go back to the minors. Jordan, Kemp, Couples all get to go to the minors. LaCourcier is going to go to the minor leagues. How many players? I still have to go to 11 more players. Kerr Matthews is a decent player, I suppose. It's just hard to get too excited about him. Plus, Romero's one of my few big on base guys, and I think he brings us a lot in that regard. Gavarat minors, Ortega minors. Curry minors, Teray minors. Curiel goes back to his home club. And then Mitchell to the minors for certain. Um, I really wish that both Colton Long and Lamont weren't both out of options. Um, because they're both good players. I guess I could try to slip a ski bell through waivers, but I like the power. Six outfielders seems excessive, though. I don't think I need six outfielders. I'm not gonna demote Bush. He's the only one that I could demote. I could also demote Bulk. That's not gonna happen either. Hmm. Dorsey to the minors. Walensky to the minors. I think if he can keep working on his defense in the minors, he'll be able to come back and be that much more useful. Three more gotta go. Trotman to the minors. No, I want him in the minor leagues. Don't argue with me. Fine. I will put him on the IL just in case something happens. That's reasonable. Um, Velasco's already 30 years old, and he hasn't been able. He's been given opportunities, and he just doesn't capitalize on them. I think trading Velasco is a reasonable proposition. If somebody is prepared to offer us an interesting prospect, I think we can trade Velasco. Andre Flores can't hit. Jorge Conroy. Joe Conroy sucks. Avina is not terrible, I suppose. I mean, I did want Jared Salemi earlier. I'm gonna take Castillo here and see if you'd maybe throw in one more prospect. Like, I'm not. I just said I'm not gonna get Chris Madden. I'm not that stupid. Um, Andres Flores just has nothing to offer. What about Amari Ausby? I like these big strikeout guys. Especially we can work on him a little bit and unlock his true potential. Okay. No, Juan Romero is not very good. Yeah, complete trade done. I do want to see how Velasco does if given more opportunities, but honestly, I just don't think there's much to recommend him at this point. He's a defense only hitter who might get lucky like 280 one of these years, but probably not. He's a great locker room guy. I'll miss him from that regard, but he's not very good. Okay. Six outfielders seems excessive. I don't know that keeping six outfielders is doing anybody any favors. I'm going to try to sneak Lamont through waivers. I don't know that I'll be successful. If I lose him, I lose him. but I don't want to trade him. I think this is reasonable. This is a reasonable starting lineup. Um, Man, I know that Ernesto Rosales is an elite defender, and he's an amazing leadership guy. I'm just not convinced that he is the right answer for this club, but I'm willing to at least give him an opportunity. And see what happens here. Dostiaga's going to get a lot of work, both as a pitcher and as an infielder, so I am more than happy to see him succeed. That's a pretty damn good rotation, especially Masuda here. I think Masuda offers us a true protection for Ernie Jarvis, and it's just going to make us a better team, especially come playoff time. Um, we're relying an awful lot on guys with weaker arms, so that's something else to consider. Hmm. Nate Quinn's big fat contract apparently tuckered him out, but maybe he'll look better going forward. Yeah, if you have one of those games where your reliever wages are completely out of whack, I think you're well within your rights to adjust the financials because sometimes it just gets silly. Relievers should not be making like $20 million a year, so except for like the very best closers, in my opinion. He learned first base, and is he any good at it? He is not good at it, but he at least has a chance to be a useful player now. Top 100 prospects. The Pirates have two in the top three. Do I have anybody in the top 100? A single soul in the top 100. I have two single souls. I have Gaona and I have Dahlberg. It's hard to develop a consistently high quality farm system when you're constantly finishing toward the top of the standings, I should say. It's just really difficult to be able to reload that effectively. It is what it is. Do you have any prospects that we think are on a timetable for this season? Silver Wolves. Dusty Hackett, Sean Lesko, Nelson Castillo, Josh Thompson. Oh, pretty much guys that are in the majors already. Dave Ormerod is major league ready. Cool. Alejandro Coronado is ready for the major leagues and is in fact there right now. So yeah, fascinating. Truly fascinating. Does everyone who needs to in the 40 man have they been added to the 40 man? It would seem so. I think it's easy to say that this is a successful offseason. Masuda represents a genuine top tier starting pitcher that should help stabilize the rest of the rotation without too much hassle. Um, we added to our bullpen without spending a lot of money other than signing Quinn to a longer deal. There's definitely risk inherent in this amount of money we're spending, but I think it's a risk that will pay off, in my opinion. Um, we had some extra depth in the bullpen in the form of Sean Lesko, Alejandro Coronado, Josh Thompson. These are all guys that have not had a chance to pitch in the majors yet, and it I think will be pretty decent relievers for us. Rob Howard, um, Was an okay starter down the stretch, but he's going to be a really good reliever, and I'm pretty pumped about that. Dusty Hackett is going to be a fascinating case study because he is a genuine two-way player. Um, Actually, apart from Quinn, Milanes, who was a starter last year, and Carrillo, I think everyone is new in this bullpen. Let's compare the pitching register. Oh no, that's not it. It's under pitchers. No, Varner too. I forgot about Varner. But yeah, Quinn is injured. Um, a brand new rotation. We still have Batty. We still have Jarvis. We still have Milanes, who's moved to the bullpen. Ramos is now in the minors, and Eop got himself a giant contract with Minnesota. We've always had a little bit more stability in position players, though. I think it's weird that pitchers doesn't list here, but position players does. Which is kind of funny. Oh, it actually lied to you anyway, because Ford is not starting a catcher for us. He's playing for the Cardinals now. It's a bunch of filthy, filthy lies. Rob Howard is gone after this season, so be it. This is going to be a fascinating offseason because I have a lot of players who are about ready to get a decent sized contract, and I don't know who's actually going to get it. Jacques Leto and Jarvis are coming back next year. Like, these are non decisions as far as keeping them around. If I have to pick, gun to my head, between Jarvis or Jacques Leto, I think we have to keep Jarvis. Or do we have to keep Jacques Leto? Fuck. It's really challenging. Not the least of which is the fact that he's become so injury prone. We may be seeing a potential Hall of Fame career sputter out due to injury. Um, it's on 2 consecutive years he hasn't played 100 games, although albeit he was amazing in 2035. So we'll have to see how this year goes for him. Maybe it's not such a slam dunk to bring him back. We'll see. But that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe, comment down below. I will be on vacation next week. I don't think I'm going anywhere too crazy, so I should still have both the Monday and the Friday video up. But if either one of them is late, I beg your indulgence in case we decide to go somewhere. So until next time, my friends, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.